Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to my review for Season 1 of Dexter. Now then, those of you who watched my most recent collection update video I did a few weeks ago, you will have noticed that I have started collecting the Dexter TV show, a combination of DVDs and Blu-rays. The reason being, I'm a big fan of Dexter. I really love this show, and then when they announced that he was going to be coming back for 10 episodes next year in 2021, I was really excited, but I wanted to rewatch the show. So I decided to rewatch it with my wife because we enjoy the show so much, and I will review each season as and when we have completed it. So we have completed Season 1 now, and Season 1 was first aired in 2006. Now, it came to the UK probably quite a bit after that, I'm guessing. I don't remember it being on terrestrial TV in the UK for quite a while. The first time I watched Dexter, it was on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. And Season 1, well, Season 1 of Dexter, what I really like about Dexter as well is the fact that they are shorter seasons. As much as I love things like Supernatural and what have you, the 22 episode format can be a bit of a slog sometimes. So you've got 12 quite focused episodes here in all the seasons of Dexter. I certainly think it is. And in Season 1, I think it's one of the strongest openings for a show that I've ever seen. A really strong opener for Dexter Season 1. And the pilot episode, which was simply called Dexter, is where we are introduced to Dexter Morgan, played by Michael C. Hall. And you're given, in no uncertain terms, you're told very quickly who he is, and he is a serial killer. He works for Miami Metro. He's a blood splatter analyst for Miami Metro PD, and he was left as a 3-year-old boy in a pool of blood for 2 days, and he saw his mother murdered, which it does expand on later in the season. And the police officer that found him, played by James Remar, adopts him, basically takes him into his home and adopts him. And he learns fairly early on that there's something wrong with Dexter. He's pretty much a sociopath and stuff. He's killing the neighbours' animals, that kind of stuff. And he knows where this is going unless he gives him some guidance. So we have the rules of Harry, if you like, his stepdad. And we see this again continuously throughout the season. James Remar and a younger Dexter bonding, and him teaching him how to pretend to fit in, to fake human emotions, and more importantly, how to cover his tracks, and only to focus on those that deserve to die, and when he feels this compulsion to kill. So it kind of establishes all this fairly quickly, and you kind of know where you stand very early in this show. And what I really like about Dexter, the way it starts, is you're comfortable with these characters very quickly. Not just Dexter, but his sister Debs, his stepsister, played brilliantly by Jennifer Carpenter, as well as everybody else at the police department. You've got your Batista, you've got Dokes, all these other characters that you see regular in the show. They feel real, like real characters, and you feel real comfortable, and you understand them very early, what each of their roles are and the dynamics within the show. And they've all got their own little storylines that run throughout this first season that never swallow up the main core of the storyline. And the main core of the storyline in Season 1 is the ice truck killer, another serial killer that's taken an interest in Dexter's work. Obviously Miami Metro PD are trying to track down this ice truck killer. They get a few red herrings along the way, and by the end of the season they obviously get their man, and there is a family reveal stroke revelation for Dexter by the end of the season that leaves him with an almost impossible choice. And that's that whole spine of the story, the ice truck killer, I think is what makes Season 1 so good, and it also laid down the foundations of the DNA for every season that followed. They all kind of had like that central story running through it. Generally, I think Season 2, from what I remember, is a little bit different. It's got a few different storylines shooting off all over the place, but The rest of them have kind of got this spine of a story running through it, and then you've got these other little shoot-offs of storylines going on. And it works really, really well. Like I said, all the characters like Batista, you learn about his marriage in this season and his split with his wife, and Dokes, and he has a couple of storylines here. I think Dokes is one of the best characters. He hates Dexter. He gets the creeps from Dexter. He's a really tough police officer, ex-military guy who he gets a few different storylines this season. He gets the one where he shoots this guy that he knew from the military that he tries to cover up, and there's the other guy, this police officer that's killed by the mob, and he's sleeping with this police officer's wife. Is that whole storyline going on? And then you got this storyline with him and Dexter throughout, where they're butting heads constantly. So it really gets loads to do in this season, Dokes. So really great characters, and there's some good light moments in a show that is basically around a serial killer. There's some real light moments in the season as well. You'll chuckle. Some great moments. The scenes between Dexter and Rita and her kids is brilliantly done. You really believe that dynamic, and then when her husband Paul comes back, throws a spanner in the works. I mean, it's really amazing how many storylines they fitted into this compact season, and it felt like they were all living real lives, and Dexter was narrating through all of it to us, and it was just such a brilliant show to watch. And for, like I say, for a show with so many serious subject matter in regards to killings and a serial killer, it's a very adult show. There's lots of language and things like that, and nudity and things going on throughout it, but it has its light moments as well. It's not just full on intensity all the time. And the real genius of this show, and this season in particular, is the introduction to Dexter, because if they'd have got it wrong, this show wouldn't have worked. How do you make a serial killer relatable and likable to an audience? How do you root for a serial killer? Well, by what they did with this character, make it so that he's like an avenging angel almost, and taking out the trash in Miami. So brilliant opening to the season, great story with the eye struck killer. All the characters are fleshed out beautifully. It all flowed really nice the whole season. A really compact, brilliantly done first season, and it's almost flawless. I'm going to give season 1 of Dexter a 9 out of 10. So yeah, I've just started season 2. Really looking forward to finishing that season, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks when I get that done, I will get season 2 up, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and of course I will be back with more content on Screen Stars very, very soon.